everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about a brand that I recently discovered, which is the Different Company, and more specifically we're going to talk about an incredibly intoxicating perfume from that collection, which is called Une Nuit Magnetique. Now, I got a sample of this about a month ago, simply because after reading Luca Turin's review about this perfume, I felt like I needed to give this a try. He gave this a full 5 stars. So apparently this guy does not only love scents that are old school, but he also loves scents that have a certain artistic appeal, which is the case with this one, because this is not like most people could actually think a perfume that is reminiscent of the old perfumery. This is extremely modern and a very particular take on the floral and fruity genre. So as I said, this is probably one of the most intoxicating juices that I have ever witnessed, and I had to buy a bottle of it because it was so delicious. My girlfriend agrees that this is one of the best perfumes in my collection. As soon as she smelled it from the sample, she loved it on me. I sprayed it on her. She didn't like it as much on her. She thought it was a bit too masculine. But in my opinion, this is totally unisex, especially because there's quite some feminine flowers in this perfume, such as jasmine from Egypt. There's rose and there's tuberose. The fruits are given by the notes of plum, if I'm not mistaken, and grape, and bergamot, and ginger. So those are basically the heart and the top notes. At the base you have all sorts of woody notes. You have some patchouli, which just gives it a subtle kick in the background, and the superstar of the perfume, which is benzoin. One of my favorite notes perhaps, which is basically an extremely vanillic kind of invigorating and particular resin. So benzoin, as I said, is very reminiscent of vanilla, but it's not the only factor in this perfume that makes it so easy to love. This is very particular in a way that it has so many stages. Usually perfumes have like 2 to 3 stages. Sometimes it's just a linear perfume. But this is different every time you smell it. This is also probably the reason why Luca Turin gave it a full 5 stars, because it just keeps on changing and changing and changing. At a certain point, you get the fruits, you get the plum note popping out. A few minutes later, you will get some tanginess from the ginger and mixed with the earthiness of the patchouli. Then you get a lovely, sexy, buttery benzoin. So it's really an experience, and that's the main reason why I bought it, because other than the fact that it's so easy to wear, very very easy to wear and easy to love, and specifically made for easygoing person, it's also very artistic. So the perfumer, I did not mention this, is Christine Nagel. Okay, so this is an incredibly talented lady that has been making perfumes for over 20 years. She's a French artist, and she is basically one of the most respected talents of the past decades. She came up with perfumes from every sort of brands with very high quality ingredients. I can't really remember which ones, maybe Tuiles d'Hermès, which is another 5-star rated perfume by Luca Turin. She made a collaboration with Francis Courchon and created, what is it called? A feminine perfume for the house of Narciso Rodriguez. Narciso for her, which is the black bottle with the pink writing. And she created tons of other perfumes. She has more than 120 perfume in her booklet. But as opposed to perfumers that make a lot of perfumes and don't put a lot of effort into them, an example would be, for me, Alberto Morillas, who I find is so overrated. A guy that makes more than 500 perfumes in his career can't really put a lot of effort in every one of its creations. Christine Nagel, on the opposite side, is a master perfumer with a capital M and a capital P. Now, that being said, this is one of those floral, fruity perfumes that actually project and last quite a long time. I consistently get 7 to 8 hours on my my skin, and I can actually feel the perfume around me, especially if I spray myself on my scarf or on my clothes or jacket or whatever for about 3 to 4 hours. And that means that everybody around you will actually smell it even more longer than what you actually perceive, because usually you actually get anosmic to a certain scent if you just keep on smelling it and smelling it. Now every stage, as I said, is different. Now I'm getting a very vanillic, fruity, sweet, but delicate and very well balanced perfume on my skin. The patchouli has that sort of backbone that simply makes this a bit more masculine instead of giving it that typical earthy kick that patchouli-centered perfumes give. This is not centric on patchouli. This is more musky, fruity, benzoin, and florals. I get lovely tuberose, which usually can be a bit heady. It could give headaches, it can be a bit dominating, but in this case, she probably did not use a lot of extract from the tuberose. I don't particularly smell the rose, which is one of the main notes of this perfume. And you must know, ladies and gentlemen, that whenever a perfume says it has rose in it and you smell the rose very hardly and very powerfully, that typically means that it's a synthetic rose, simply because natural extract from rose can only be used in a certain degree in perfumes. So you can only use a certain percentage, which is like 0.1% of the perfume, about that amount, in a perfume if you want to be within the IFRA regulations. So what people actually do, perfumers and brands, they buy pre-made accords from big houses, like Firmenich and Givaudan, that use synthetic notes and synthetic materials in order to recreate a certain scent, put it in a perfume, and make it legal for selling. So, of course, this is not going to be using natural ingredients, but let me tell you, the quality of the blend and the quality of the synthetic notes are incredibly high. And the majestic touch of Christine Nagel just made this whole experience so much better than what it would actually be if another perfumer would have created this. You can tell this has the feminine touch, the feminine appeal to create a scent that is lovely on a man and also for a woman. I really love this stuff, and if I could give it a vote, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10, okay? To me, it's very hard to give a 10 out of 10 because it's a perfect note that it's almost impossible to achieve. Like the wholeheartedly perfection is something that is the climax of my fragrance journey, something that I never witnessed before. I've had a lot of perfumes that I fell in love with, but you know, the ultimate perfume is really hard to come by. I don't know if you feel the same about it, but that's just me. So overall, the experience that this perfume gives me is one that is very easy to wear. It's a very likable and lovable perfume, and usually I tend to go for darker potions. I love the dark, strong, woody stuff, but on the contrary, I felt really surprised when I started smelling this and loving it so much. It's like one of those comforting, beautiful, well-made potions that work very well on my skin, work very well with people around me. Everybody that smelled this on me felt that it was a great perfume, and honestly, you should give it a try. Of course, you're not going to have to blind buy this because you can order samples from the website from the different company directly. They make great deals. You can actually sample all 26 of their fragrances for about 50 to 55 euros. I can't really remember how much. So that's a great deal. That means that you basically get 2 ml sample for 2 euros, a bargain for a niche house. And I actually paid this bottle quite cheaply. I got a discount and I paid 80 euros for 50 ml. Now, considering the quality of this juice, I think it's a very good price. I'm really looking forward to search for other perfumes within this brand. This is actually the first perfume from the different company that I tried, and right away I loved it. That's pretty incredible. That's a lucky shot, but also that is thanks to my curiosity after reading Luca Turin, who gave it a full 5 stars. Now, I have many other perfumes that were rated 5 stars on his book, and I will be looking forward to give you my impressions on those. But so far, this is the only one that actually got me to buy a full bottle of, and I think it would work very well on a woman. My girlfriend thinks it's too masculine, but I have to disagree with that statement totally. But it would also work so fine with a sure, confident man who doesn't mind to wear floral, fruity perfumes. And typically, I do not like fruity perfumes, especially fruity perfumes for women who I think are too sweet and synthetic and oddly smelling. Like, it's an overwhelming experience, but in this case the blend is magnificent, really, really good. I suggest you guys give it a try. So that was my review of Une Nuit Magnetique. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new, or the like if you wish, and I will see you again very soon. Take it easy.